Hey guys, it's Stuff from Hot and Moving, and I mean tonight was just a beautiful night in boxing overall. As a casual boxing fan, I think that first off, Netflix did a great job. They had this fight in Legion Stadium, football stadium, packed out. When it finally came to the main card, fight with Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, there was some really good undercards as well. Okay, but obviously the main card is what everybody is tuned to watch. And I mean, look, shout out to Netflix putting a great fight, on their platform. And yeah, they made a lot of money through advertising and stuff like that. But I mean, they made the barrier to entry and the install base very simple to catch this fight, man. So yeah, I mean, like I said, tonight was just a beautiful night for boxing, right? I mean, we had Terence Crawford, Bud Crawford move up and wait to fight. The GOAT of boxing, the Mexican GOAT. That many believe Canelo Alvarez is going to go down in history as one of the best boxers in history, and he will, right? I mean, for me tonight, personally, doesn't stain his legacy in any way. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't. If anything, it just shows you how much of a warrior that Canelo Alvarez is to take on this fight. Okay, take on this fight. I know he's made $100 million from this, or he's made like over $100 million from this, possibly. I don't know the numbers, but clearly, this is a big payday fight for him, and and this is the most anticipated fight, that we've had in a very long time, and we got it. Okay, so I mean, look, man, Terence Crawford obviously won the fight, man. Unanimous decision, guys. Okay, like. I mean, people are wondering, how will Crawford fare? Well, moving up in weight and everything, man. And I listen, guys. I knew that Canelo was the favorite, but me personally, I had Terence Crawford win the fight. Okay, I thought that at this stage, even though I know that Crawford's older, but I just thought that Terence Crawford was probably gonna be the smartest boxer that Canelo was going to face. Okay, we know how intelligent a boxer Canelo Alvarez is, so. It was going to be a chess match, it seemed like, right? I thought that this fight was going to be super technical. It was like that. Both guys were feeling each other out. And I mean, look, man, it seemed like early on they were swapping rounds a little bit, or not swapping rounds, but I mean, I was taking over in the first round, and then, but Crawford still made his presence known, and Crawford definitely, won the second one. I think he won like the next 3-4 rounds, whatever. Okay, like Crawford. He looked fresh, man. He looked fresh. Okay, he looked nimble. He was on his feet. He was very balanced. People were worried about could he have the power to stumble the shots? Could he land the power shots? And could he wobble Canelo? Right. And could and would the power shots from Canelo wobble Terence Crawford, right? And I mean, look, guys, I thought Terence Crawford, I know Canelo looked somewhat bigger, but I thought Crawford held his own in the ring, man. I thought he controlled the ring space, and a lot of times I think he got off the ropes when he needed to. Okay, when he needed to make an attack, he made an attack. We're gonna talk about that sixth round. That sixth round when things was getting, it could have gotten a little. Canelo was starting to cook up a little bit, and I felt if Crawford felt like he let that fifth round go, possibly. I think people gave Canelo that fifth round, or Crawford didn't finish that fifth round very well, but he came out. I think he shockingly came out to Canelo's surprise. Honestly, I think and dominated that round early on, and that to me was a swing round. Even though I felt Crawford was mostly in control of the fight, I felt like that sixth round was a round that if Canelo had won, that things could have taken a different turn. Absolutely, right? But it didn't. So if there was ever a path forward for Canelo to win this fight, I think that if he had gotten through the sixth round, could things have been different? Possibly. I still think Terence Crawford would have won, but I think that he would have had a better shot at winning this fight, right? And I mean, look, man, in these rounds, man, you said the crowd was getting kind of restless. Okay, it was a big crowd. Shout out to just the entrance. The intros are awesome, man. The Mexican music, the band they're playing, it was really cool, man. But it was definitely a heavily pro Canelo Alvarez crowd, and they were really trying to rally behind him. And he battled Crawford. Was too much. Now Crawford, he didn't overpower him with power and strength, right? But he frustrated him, and he was scoring, and he was really going to make Canelo dig in his bag. I know Canelo definitely made Crawford dig in his bag a little bit, but Canelo was really going to have to convincingly beat Terence Crawford, and I just before this fight, I just thought I just didn't. He was gonna have it was gonna be a very challenging task for Canelo to do this. Okay, the betting favorite had Canelo. That's Vegas odds, whatever. I had Terence Crawford win this fight. I'm not gonna say unanimous, but if it was split decision or something like that, totally right. At worst, a draw, right? I did not see any guy getting knocked out. I didn't see any guy, getting, dropped or nothing like that. Where they just got, absolutely demolished. Now, Canelo, if you look at the score, I mean, it was unanimous. He got dominated in terms of a lot of technicals, man. He got him frustrated. He hit the shots. Crawford hit the shots he needed to hit. Okay, he definitely landed some shots for sure on Crawford, but Crawford he landed some shots, man. He definitely landed some shots. He landed some power shots. And what's impressive about these two guys, especially Terence Crawford, is that he took the shots. Okay, when there was openings that he got exposed, he took them. You know what I'm saying? I thought he had some defensive lapses in this fight, but he adjusted. And he did not allow Canelo to dictate the fight. And Terence Crawford controlled the entire fight, man. The entire fight, it was clear who the better boxer was. Towards the later rounds, Canelo was getting frustrated, off balance. I thought that Canelo's cardio was looking a little, Canelo cardio did kind of hold up. It was looking kind of questionable mid to late rounds, but he held in there. So kudos to Terence Crawford, man. For Canelo Alvarez legacy, I'm gonna say this, man. I felt that this fight was like a coronation fight for his fans, his people. Whatever he decides to do, if he wants to hang it up or not, I think for me, this is a final defining fight for for Canelo Alvarez's career. Even having this fight, even though he lost, show that he's a warrior, he's a battle. He doesn't duck. Okay, so a crown achievement type of night for him. Where people can see Canelo in a finally big arena packed. He deserved to have this fight. So good for him, and what an incredible career for him. Okay, now Terence Crawford. I mean, what can you say about him, man? Right? I mean, he's just one of them dudes, man. He's just one of them guys, bro. Built different. I thought that the dispatching of Errol Spence was absolutely devastating. I did not see that coming. I was shocked, like everybody who witnessed that beatdown. Okay. After that, when he fights someone else, and then the next big fight is going to be Canelo Alvarez, man. I was like, okay, you know what? I thought this is a good fight for Terence Crawford. I already thought that he was a GOAT, right? One of the greats, absolutely. But now, undefeated record and everything, and no, he's not Floyd Mayweather. I never looked at him like that, but I thought that he was in the atmosphere of Floyd, or belong at the table of the Floyd Mayweather types. Not the types. That's not. I thought that. Not even comparing him, right? I just thought that he's undefeated. A very highly intelligent, technical boxer. Okay, is his defense as good as Floyd? No, but I think his power is stronger than Floyd's. Right? I'm not trying to compare the two, but they're at the same. They sit at the same table, and you can truly seal that now, right? I mean, what he did tonight at 37 up to 38, incredible, right? And I think for him, he can walk away from the game too. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he has nothing else to prove to me. Okay, I think this sealed it. He was already a GOAT in my mind. When I was going to definitely remember Terence Crawford, but I think that this puts him in legendary status for sure. Look, Terence Crawford is not this glitzy glamour, personality to sell. He is going to be. He reminds me of old school blue collar boxer who got the job done, did his job. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to look back in boxing history, and it's like that Terence Crawford guy. Oh, nobody can beat him. Why? Dude was a hard worker. He adjusted to every opponent. Dude was like a cyborg, man. Damn good. You know what I'm saying? When people talk about Floyd Mayweather being one of the greatest, you're gonna have a hard conversation of not mentioning Terence Crawford, man. Incredible what he's able to do at his age. He looked fresh, sharp. He looked good. He looked absolutely good. It looked like he can box for another couple years, right? And for me, this is a crowning fight for him. I don't really know what an opponent out there. I don't think he needs to fight anybody else. If he wants to make boxing, same for Canelo. If they want to box and make money, continue to make money, totally fine to support their family. But I feel like this fight was a marquee fight of a closing chapter in their careers, and happy to see it. Okay, both guys got to walk away healthy, but it was a great fight. It was good to see Canelo. He got challenged. He got in there and threw some shots. He thought Canelo adjust and everything. No. Ultimately, Terence Crawford is just that guy. Simple as that. A true legend. I think this absolutely seals it for me now, in terms of really being in my mind as the boxing class, the boxing ID class of his generation. Absolutely. And I mean, yeah, the Canelo class of the generation too, right? I'm not trying to, as I view Canelo and Terence in a different lens, both are all-time great boxers, and it was a treat to see this, man. And it was great to see Terence Crawford have a big mega fight stage like this again after Errol Spence's fight, and truly remind people, right? And he got to share the ring with Canelo, and Canelo had his crowning achievement type moment, or not crowning achievement, like kind of like his coronation type moment, and Terence gets to have his crowning achievement, undisputed moment, man. Fantastic. I think two birds will kill one stone tonight, many different ways, but ultimately Terence Crawford victorious and is in legendary status for sure in my mind, and hopefully in the minds of many others, guys. Thanks for watching, man. Leave me your thoughts about what you thought about the fight and Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, man. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.